Good afternoon. Welcome to the Omftpc television program. My name is Haywood Fennell, and we are really happy to be here today. We have a family representation here today. I mean, we're talking about a legacy. You know what a legacy is? It's like generations of doing this things and expanding on it. It's like a concentric circle that never breaks. Our guest today, my good friend, former criminal court judge Miton Wright is here. How you doing, Judge?
Great. How are you?
And say your name.
Kavayah.
Say it loud so they can hear it.
Kavayah Wright.
All right. This is a pair we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some of their family and what their contributions are to the world of art and music. We're really grateful to be here today. Judge, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
I'm so glad to see you here with your son. I've been seeing him around this town for quite a bit now. What are you doing? Tell me about you. What have you been doing lately?
I've just been working and teaching and playing, and trying to do as much as I can for the community.
With your music?
With the music.
Your sound, developing it and everything, working with our young people.
Yes, indeed.
Before you started working with our young people, what were you doing?
I was touring. I was playing with a bunch of groups. I played with Kimani Marley for 6 years, toured.
Just going everywhere?
Yeah, every continent except for Antarctica.
Really?
Except for Antarctica, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And then you had to report into the chief.
I came back here and helped him put some stuff together, too.
Hey, look, Judge, you are such a wonderful contributor to justice. Before you became a judge, I remember you was a lawyer.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that, Judge.
Well, I actually began law school at Michigan, and I was one of 6 African-American, they call us, students. At the law school, we were all freshmen. The first black law students they'd had in 50 years at the University of Michigan.
The University of Michigan?
Yes, and it was unbelievable because they were not ready for us. And experienced several racial incidents, and I left Michigan and came to Boston. I had been in Boston once before because the summer before my junior year, I spent at Harvard in an intensive course in Arabic, 8-week intensive course, and I came across the bridge. I was in Morehouse at the time as a student.
You was in Morehouse too?
Yes, I was in Morehouse.
Okay.
Yeah. And I came across the bridge, and I was passing the Strawberry Records. Remember what Strawberry Records used to be?
On Mass Ave?
No, the one that was on.
You were talking about original
was
Mass Ave.
Where what they call
Was
it?
it Fenway down there?
No, where the corner where the eateries are and stuff on Washington Street.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the Supremes record, "Baby, Baby, Where Did Our Love Go?" Mm-hmm. And I got such a feeling about Boston. So when I left Michigan, I decided I'm going back to that place where I got that feeling. Mm-hmm. I came here. I worked for legal services, first the paralegal, and at the time, Bob Spangenberg was the head of legal services. He is sort of the icon, the creator of legal services in the country. He was my mentor. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Miton, you got to go back to law school. You're doing everything these lawyers do except go to court, and you're better than them." So I went back, I applied to BU. I told them everything that happened to me at Michigan. I wrote a letter to them, applied in June, and got into the September class, which is almost impossible to do.
You went to BU Law School?
Yeah, I went to BU Law School.
I'm glad you straightened me out because I had put you in Boston College Law School.
No, Boston University.
Judge, look.
And then
Let me.
Okay.
This is what I want to talk about.
Okay.
This is what I want our audience to know about. I want you to tell me about your family. I want you to tell me about all the musicians, and still got musicians in your family. What about the Wrights in is it Miami?
Well,
Is it Miami?
Miami, Florida. Yeah. And it all started.
Dade County?
It all started with my mother, Rosalie Akins Wright. She played the guitar, she wrote music, she arranged, and when you were 5 years old in my family, you were part of the family group. Started out with my brother, my older brother, Charles, and my mother singing together. And then I joined them, and Philip, Jeanette, Michael. Betty wasn't even around, she wasn't even born. And first we were called the Wright Spiritual Singers. And my mother had an epiphany. She says, I'm going to change the name. We're going to call it Echoes of Joy. We would go, when we got in from school, or we would, after we go up and wash up and everything, we'd go into the living room and we'd rehearse. We rehearsed every day. And my mother would say, Junior, you have this note. Jeanette, you have dee, da, dum, dum, dum. She gave us all the first notes. I got a new song, and this is how it goes. And I want you to come in on this. And those are your keys. That's all she'd have to say.
Echoes of Joy?
Echoes of Joy. And it was joyful. I mean, we sang all over Florida. You have to understand, my mother and my father were divorced. My father got injured on his job. He used to move appliances for Westinghouse. He got fired. That's what they did in those days, black men. No compensation, nothing. So he couldn't support us. My mother had to support us alone. We lived in the first Overtown, and that was moving from place.
In Overtown, you lived in Overtown?
Overtown, and we moved.
I know Overtown.
Yeah, we used to move like every 3-4 months. You know, it was like that, hard. Then we finally got into the projects in Liberty City.
Liberty City? I know Liberty
62nd and 12th.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and that was, you know, people think of the project as, oh, it's crazy. But it was an opportunity. Lots of people lived in the projects and advanced from that.
Right.
Right. You know, so my mother made sure that we did our schoolwork. We were all good academically. As a matter of fact, I was the first male from my high school to graduate valedictorian. Yeah, and that was, you know.
Valedictorian, you said valedictorian kind of low.
#1.
Because some more stuff came behind that though, right?
Yeah.
Some more honors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember we used to, when gospel groups came to Miami, they would, all the major gospel groups would perform at the Longshoremen's Hall. Yeah. And we would be the group to introduce them. The Echoes of Joy.
Too, though.
And so we would have like the Staple Singers, Shirley Caesar and the Caravans, the Highway QCs, the Soul Stirrers, Sam Cooke.
Yes.
You know,
Soul
and
Stirrers.
we got to know all of those people when we were kids, and sometimes they would come to our house in the projects. Now,
what did they call your mother? Sister?
No,
Sister Wright?
Well, Sister Wright at first, and then Mother Wright as she got
Mother
older.
Wright, yeah. I know there had to be something in there, so you know, familiarize them.
That's
Go ahead,
right.
Joe.
That's right. And my mother, I bless her. You know, from that early beginning, when she used to, her job was as a maid, cook, nanny for people on Miami Beach, especially this family, the Grossbergs, that owned Piggly Wiggly stores. She was there. Yeah, she was there, and she was their maid. Yeah, she did everything for them. And when Betty was old enough to get into public school, which meant my mother couldn't pay for daycare. My mother was able to go back to school, and she went back to school and became a nurse.
This is the Other Page television program. Our guest today, Judge Wright and his son. We're going to ask the technician to put those pictures up of the Wright family so that we can identify them and then continue with this interview, this great man and his great son. Thank you. There you are, Judge. Call him out, would you?
Okay. At the very left is my elder brother, Charles.
Okay.
And he recorded under the name Carlos Wright. And he has a single called Man from the Sky. I wrote it.
Okay.
And you've got to hear it. He was an amazing singer, but even more amazing guitarist.
Okay.
And he played with Betty for a number of years. Then I'm the next one pictured there.
That's you in the
Believe it or
middle
not.
there?
I'm the second one.
The second one, that's
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that's me.
Okay, go ahead.
Then there's Betty.
Okay.
And of course, we know Betty's Clean Up Woman, Tonight is the Night, No Pain, No Gain, many hits, Grammy
I love
Award
that
winner.
song, Tonight is the Night. I love
Grammy
that
Award winner.
R&B
And
Hall of Fame.
I was executive producer for one of her songs, Go, which was nominated for a Grammy Award. So
All
I'm
right, who's the
executive.
gentleman in the back on the
Okay,
right?
that's my brother Michael.
That's Michael.
That's
Are
Michael.
all of them living now?
No.
Betty's not here anymore.
Betty's not here. And then there's Philip.
No, Jeanette.
Wait a minute. No, Philip is in between. Oh,
No,
yeah, Jeanette is, yeah. Jeanette is next. And she was with Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Casey?
When you hear,
That's her.
high
Yeah.
voice, that's Jeanette. And next, matter of fact, she made up the part.
Mm-hmm.
She
A lot of
made
the
that up.
background
Yeah,
things she
yeah.
did with her group.
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they was jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, her group was fire.
They were number one group
For
in
a
the
good while.
world. For a while. Now, next to her is Philip, who was also a guitarist, singer. He was with King Curtis, who was, at that time, the music director for Aretha Franklin. He played for the
I
big
remember when he was
orchestra
doing
and
that,
also the Kingpins. And then Philip played with Junior Walker and the All-Stars after that.
Okay,
He was
so
Motown for a
They
number
were
of years.
with the Wrights, touched a lot of different.
Yeah.
And then your son came in. And
Yeah.
how did he get involved with the music thing?
Oh,
What happened?
well, my
Were you
son-
singing first?
My son was 8 years old. I bought a new guitar. And so I gave him my old guitar, which wasn't that old, and it was huge.
It was bigger
I
than
just
him.
gave it to him. I didn't show him anything. I just gave it to him. One day I'm sitting down, I was working on a new song, which actually was my biggest hit song, Keep It Up. And Kavayah came into the living room and he said, Dad, can I play with you? I said, yeah, okay. So I started playing and he came in. I didn't want to show him that I was shocked, but he could play.
Yeah. So
He
just
liked
let me
himself.
ask you a question,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so now the transition of hearing your son play music, did that hit you any kind of way in terms of, like a DNA factor? You know, like
well,
chip
what I,
up. What did it say? Fruit don't fall
you
far
know
from
what
the
it,
tree kind of
what it
thing?
hit me was that God had given my family a mission, a purpose.
What'd you say, Judge?
God had given my
That's
family
what I thought you said.
a
I just
mission,
wanted
a
you to repeat it.
purpose. That, we had to do this music. Our music had to go out throughout the world. We had a message to tell. We had a spiritual message. We had a societal message. We had a political message.
Because
we had
it
a
was the
message
time
to our
and
people.
the time and the elements that you had was your music
Yeah.
to tell them,
Yes.
to try to heal them.
Yes.
Would that be a good statement, to try to heal the people?
Oh yes. We grew up, and I grew up. I'm 82 years old.
Yeah.
I grew up in a time when racism was rampant in the country, and it was everywhere. And I can remember 4th and 5th grade, sometimes just praying and thinking, Lord, is it always going to be like this? I mean,
You believe that it was always going to be like that, or did you ask a question?
I just asked the question.
Okay.
I knew it wasn't going to be like that for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to let it be like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I believe you on that one. I know that's true.
Yeah. And I always, you know, I think I always knew who I was.
How important would you say the two of you is our music? How important?
Our
is it?
music is everything. I once, talking to Betty, I told her, I said, you know, every group, by nation, by race, by culture, by religion, has this something that it excels in. I said, and if you can take that thing and do it to your best, so you don't have to worry about poverty, you don't have to worry about racism or any of these things. You just do what you do best.
The OJ said that song, Message in the Music?
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that song?
So, yes,
we
music.
got a message in our
Yes.
music. And that's what you guys was doing.
Yeah.
Never
Music is
knowing
our
that,
thing.
never knowing how it would expand.
Yeah.
And, you know, are your cousins involved in music too?
Cousins,
Very
nieces, nephews, everyone.
Everybody?
Mike Cool of Cool and the Gang is my cousin.
Yeah.
Archie Bell of the Drells.
Yeah.
The Johnson brothers.
Brothers Johnson, yeah.
Yeah. As a
Are
matter
you
of
in
fact-
touch with them?
As a matter of fact,
Cool, yeah.
no, as a matter of fact, James Weldon Johnson is related to us. From Jacksonville,
Negro Nation.
Florida.
Anthem?
Yes. And his
Music
brother
everywhere.
was a phenomenal musician. And
Yeah, I
people don't
know.
even know about his brother.
Yeah.
His brother's the one
Yeah,
who wrote
no,
the actual.
yeah, we know about it from Harlem Renaissance.
Yeah, yeah.
We talk
I know
about
you.
him. Yeah.
I know you know.
Tell me, where are you now in terms of what you're doing in the community?
Right now, teaching at the Kroc Center, teaching music production over there for ages, right now ages 10 to 13. We're looking to expand.
Okay.
I'm teaching at Roxbury Roots Montessori, teaching the little 3 to 6 year olds, teaching them music, doing a lot of production.
When you say a lot of production, what do you mean? On the side, you got something going on?
Yeah, I have some different projects I'm
You
working
stay
on.
busy, right? Was that fair
Stay
statement?
busy. Stay
But you
busy.
enjoy what you do.
Love it. Wouldn't
Okay,
change
so I
it.
don't want to go too far here without mentioning your daughter. See what I'm saying? Because
Oh, yeah.
I remember when we were down this is not the Commons, down Boston Street, down there by the church, big all the grass and everything.
Yes.
And she dances.
She dances and she does music as well. Too.
Yeah, and she sings too.
Yes.
My son too.
How old is your son?
He's 28.
28.
Yeah.
You got a 28-year-old
Got
son.
28.
You guys look good. Yes, really do. You know, I'm so. Folks, this is really an opportunity to share a family that has been tremendously talented and use their talent to help heal the people. We got Judge Wright, we got his son. Say your name again because I don't want to mess it up.
Kavayah.
Huh?
Kavayah.
Kavayah, I got it now, that's it. Kavayah is here talking about his daughter, talking about working with young people. You know, we need that. We need to support them however we can support them. If they're performing like Judge does, 41 years in Black Nativity.
That's right.
41 years and 2 years with the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater program.
That's right.
Yeah. We're going to get to
No,
that.
3
We're gonna
years.
get to that.
3 years.
3 years, you
Yes.
know, but it's so amazing that we can sit here together and talk about the barriers that were in place so that we couldn't move out of that particular space. And you took music and culture and moved it to a different kind of paradigm of hope.
Yeah.
Because you've been with Black Nativity for 41 years, so you've seen generations of families involved in that.
Yes, and I've seen children grow up from the age of 6. Now they've graduated from college. They have families.
Right.
I've seen, we have a young lady came to see us recently at the last season's performance. She's a judge now. We have several lawyers. We have doctors. We have a dancer in New York who dances with a major company in New York.
Okay.
We
Let me just say something, Judge, because, see, God is not stingy with his blessings.
no.
You know, people, sometimes they get real cynical about theater, but let me tell you something. One of the things that I love about dance is that that's the only discipline that you can check somebody if they're out of step.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't say nothing. You know, because say, yo, man, you out of step. And so they know they got to get back in step in order for, but music is different. Music is a little different.
Yeah.
You got to really be not tone deaf. I can imagine sitting in your house with your mama and she was cooking and y'all was all bunched up.
Singing.
Yeah, it would, you know, somebody's in the kitchen, somebody's coming down the stairs, somebody starts singing, and everybody starts singing from wherever they are. You know, that's how it was. That's how it was.
Okay, so.
I want to tell you something, though.
But,
Now, this has to do with my legal career,
yeah.
if you don't mind, because this is the first time I think I've exposed this publicly. Remember the Charles Stuart matter?
Who?
Charles Stuart matter.
Charles Stuart?
Yes.
Charles Stuart, that was in Mission Hill, wasn't it?
Yes, that whole
Right.
thing. Now, you've never heard this story before. When they had Bennett before the grand jury,
Will Bennett.
they brought the 3 teenagers that had talked to the police. They were coerced in what they said. They took them before the grand jury, and the same day that they went before the grand jury, one of them, I won't call any names, called me and said, Mr. Wright, I just went before the grand jury. I said, well, what did you tell them? I told them what they wanted to hear.
Told him what?
What they wanted to hear. I called them into my office with the other 2, took them back to Superior Court, and I had to argue to the judge who was in charge of the grand jury to let them go back before the grand jury, which is very unusual. But finally the judge relented and appointed attorneys for each one of them, and they went back before the grand jury, gave more testimony, and that is why Bennett was not indicted.
Okay, let me just.
Now, nobody knows that.
Well, you know, folks, again, former Judge Milton Wright just told about an episode in his legal career in jurisprudence. Let me tell you something. I was on probation in Roxbury Court, and I was moved to Worcester to try to continue my recovery, which I have 30 years now. 30 years. But you cannot get anything without help that is good. I was in the courtroom before Judge Wright. And I'm not going to call that probation person's name. I'm not even going to tell you their sex. All right? And when the probation hearing came up, folks, and I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. I went before the judge, and the judge asked the probation officer, what were they looking for? See, I didn't tell you the sex or the name, right? They said, we want to surrender him. I was only out of place, folks. I wasn't using drugs or any of that. I could have done what we call it, a test, a urine. I could have done it because I wasn't using. I was rebuilding my life. And when the probation officer said what they were recommending, being the judge, he thanked them. He said, well, thank you very much, probation, but I'm not going to go along with that. Young man, you go on back, keep on doing what you're doing. That was the first step. That was the first step. Then I wrote a play. It's going to go up next month, March the 28th, 2026, at the Cambridge Ridge and Latin School. TheOMTC.com. You can get information about the tickets, etc. there. But Judge Wright, this brother right here, former Judge Wright, a playwright himself, an entertainer worldwide, my friend, came and performed in our play, because it doesn't belong to me, because they bought in. And for 3 years, he played Langston Hughes and Father Africa. Mm-hmm. That gave us more than a star. We had elected officials like the late Chuck Turner, Dr. Joseph Warren,
Yes.
coming in behind Judge Wright. He shared his skills of theater, of what he had learned down in Miami, Florida, with the rest of his brothers and sisters. He did that. And then I used to go to his office and sit there in his chambers and talk to him. Not just about theater, but life, man. People are like, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. And you're not trying to be better than, you're just trying to have a better plan. We got a lot from you in terms of law and protection. Before you became a judge, when I used to see you walking across Warren Street, going into Roxbury Court, they say, oh, there go that lawyer, man. You better try to get him. You better try to get him. Because he would speak up, look at the evidence, as a judge, before you was a judge, and talk to them and show them what the law was all about. And we're so grateful that you still give advice, but you just don't have on the black robe now, you know. But the things that you have done and the people that you have met throughout your life and the play that you wrote, you guys, Jobe.
Mm-hmm.
Jobe. We're going to get that back the next time you're here. But I just wanted to share with our viewing audience here on the Other Page television program what a great human being you are.
Thank you.
I mean, you have gone through things, and we have gone through things, and we have gone through things together. Yes. Yeah, I come from a big family, but don't none of them sing, though. Hey, this is the Other Page. This is the Other Page television program. Our guests today are amazing people. They're here today because they want to come and talk about themselves. And we want to take a minute just to show some of our ads, etc. As a tech crew, give us a little bit of that, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back. you. Back again, folks, with the Wright legacy, with the Wright family, his father and son. What a wonderful opportunity it is for you to understand the hard work that became a commitment from their mother. And now here's her grandson and his daughter. Who else is there? Some cousins in there, ain't
Yeah,
there?
and his son too.
Yeah, my son too. Yeah.
He writes music and plays
Yes,
guitar.
sir.
And he got a son that plays music,
Yeah,
and he sings too.
Yes, sir, and rap too. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah?
yeah.
What's his name again?
Yeah, yeah.
Yaya?
Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah.
What?
Elijah.
Elijah.
Elijah. Like,
Elijah. Okay, all right, that's biblical.
yeah.
Yes, that's right, that's right. So now, what about the Butterfly Project?
Oh, yeah. Well, the Butterfly Project is a part of the Common House Theater and Productions. And we teach young children music and theater. It's sort of transition now. We have the Elliott Educational Program at Elliott Congregational Church. We have a summer program, and we have an after-school program, which is now suspended for a while until we raise some more money. But we had a wonderful summer program. We taught theater, music theory, ensemble singing,
Drumming.
we taught drumming.
Drumming?
Yeah, yeah. You know, and
Why do you do that? Why?
well, you know, a part of education, it's not just reading books about, you know, doing science and math and history and whatever. Music is very important.
See what I'm saying? See, I know why you do it, you know, but I want people to understand, Your Honor, the importance of cultural enrichment.
That's
Yes,
right,
sir.
cultural
Yes, sir.
enrichment, exactly.
You know, I mean, you know, like there's so much that we could do, everybody, if we had more resources, equipment,
Yes.
money, sponsorship,
Yeah,
support
Yeah.
from you.
Yes.
Because the kids that I met a while ago at that project, the Butterfly Project,
yeah,
I know some of them went on.
yes.
And I also know, everybody, that there's an environment where you can be yourself. And you got instructors that care about your children, who are really our children.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
You know, so whatever it is that you think we could do here at the Other Page Television or the Other Page Radio, just let me know. You know, because what we have to do here in Boston with our theater folks is to remove the barriers that we put up ourselves. We put barriers up. Okay? This judge was in the courtroom and I was standing in front of him, and that probation officer came to me later. Here's the other kick in the head now. I'm down there in Roxbury Court, and I saw the probation officer. Probation officer said, "Mr. Fennell, could you talk to this young man about helping him get a job?"
Right.
Yeah,
You never know.
yeah.
Never know.
See, you have to have credibility. Now I'm talking to you now.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you. I got 30 years clean. Somebody told me, "Why are you doing this?" And I didn't know why I was doing it. But I know I got tired. And I went to Worcester to get away from Boston,
Yep.
because Boston was infested with temptation.
Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
My younger brother, Michael, got hooked on drugs. That was my, you know, part of experience with it. I remember he had gone through some programs and was doing okay.
Program route.
But then I was living in Miami at the time, and he came by my house, and he was dressed poorly and had on sneakers that had holes in the bottom and were torn up on the side. I talked to him, but at that time I knew very little about drugs. He left, and I just felt so bad. I felt like I didn't know exactly what to say to him.
Right.
I picked up my guitar, and I wrote a song. Michael's shoes got a hole in the bottom, got a tear on the side where they're supposed to hide his feet. The way that he dresses hardly would impress. He's seen a lot of stress, and that is why I guess he acts so mean. But Michael, you can live again. Just think of it, you can live again. If you patch up the hole that exists in your soul, it's only a hole.
You got to come back and do that, Judge. We got.
Yeah.
See, I was going to bring you back anyhow. Now I got to bring you back so you can sing that song. Because I'm glad we got on that, everybody, because I was speaking to someone as recently as this morning, and they are working in the field of substance abuse and mental health, because that's what I used to do, right? It's like the thief catching the thief, so to speak, you know? But look, treatment on demand was a reality until the insurance companies seemed to be tending to the other folks that had insurance and not the people in our community. And I don't hear a lot of advocacy for that treatment on demand that should have never left, because we still trying to emulate things that are, you sat in the bench and told them and talked to the young people coming through. I heard you. Not only in the court where they do the arraignment, but then I used to go on the side just to watch you deal with the people in the community. And you would give advice.
Well, I did the drug court for 10 years.
So you know that treatment on demand should be an option that we need.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we should definitely do that, folks. Folks, I just want to say again, Judge, you know, all the people that you guys used to bring in, like, what's her name, Ozzie Davis' wife?
Yeah, Ruby D.
You know, I was in love with Ruby D. I never got a chance to tell her that. But you had a lot of interesting people, and they all came together as a direct result of your working with Elma Lewis. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Elma Lewis, Judge. What kind of lady was she? Because I tried to speak to her one time, and I couldn't get a word in.
Yeah, well, Elma was a phenomenal woman. She was a phenomenal person in terms of getting things done. She got things done. She was very influential. I remember when Kevin White was mayor, she would go down to City Hall, no appointment. She'd walk in, Miss Lewis, I'm going to see the mayor. She'd walk in. He'd have to see her, you know. She loved the children, but she demanded them to be disciplined. She would, when they did something that was out of the way, she would ask them, she said, now, tell me that you don't understand what you did. Do you understand? Yes, Miss Lewis, I understand. I said, no. You know, she would make them articulate what they did wrong and what was the right way to do it. But she was always interested in them being articulate in understanding what was the right thing and what was the wrong thing. She was a great producer. Y'all have a Mr. Lick. Y'all have a Mr. Lick. Yeah. And you can't. You talk to people, my age, younger. Just about anybody in Boston, they'll tell you they were touched by Elma Lewis in the Elma Lewis School. Right. Yeah, I was at Elma Lewis School, But I wanted to say to you, remember back a little while I said, why do you do it, what you do?
Remember that? The reason why I asked you that question is because people don't get it. The work that you're doing, it should be celebrated. It should be emulated. You know, the schools should wake up and don't smell the coffee, they should drink the coffee. You know, you shouldn't have to be competitive when you're trying to raise your children to appreciate their culture.
Yeah.
True.
And performance. Because if you go back and you look at how we got to where we got to in terms of today, and you see the people that are on the stage and getting awards and stuff like that, they don't say nothing about Langston or Zora or so many others. Yeah. And they were the ones that, you know, like kind of held the sky up to keep it from falling down on us.
Yes.
And you too. Because you wrote that play, Jobe. Tell us a little bit about writing that play, Jobe. Why did you write it?
Well, you know, Jobe came about, I was down in Miami, I was recording my first album. It came out, and it was getting some good play on stations that wouldn't normally play a new artist. But my company was young, it was small, and here they had Casey and the Sunshine Band, and they had to put all the resources into that. So I was pushed to the side. I was a little bit down about that. And Betty came over to talk to me, and she said—
Betty's your sister.
My sister, Betty Wright.
Your young sister.
Yes. It was so wise. And after
she was like your mama, huh?
Yeah. After we talked a little while, you know, I raised her and then she raised me, you know. Yeah. She said, but who do you think you are anyway, Jobe? I said, why did she say that? I had to read Jobe. I read Jobe, yes. And then I read everything about Jobe. Yes. I read sermons, I read theses about Jobe, and I said, I gotta write about this. This is
Judge,
phenomenal.
you know what? Let me interrupt you, Judge,
yeah.
Because you know we're getting down to dig, right? Look, you remember when I used to come and see you?
Yes.
And you told me about what you was doing?
Yeah. I used to
and
always
then you had
say,
your son, and then you put your son in there too, right?
The thing is, you used to always, when you walked up to me, this is before I had written the play, I just told you about my idea. You would say to me, you walk up to me and say, Jobe, Jobe, Jobe. Yeah. You just remind me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I used to try to get in there.
Yes.
To talk to you.
Yeah.
Because we were doing the play too.
You inspired me to go ahead and write that.
I remember you used to knocking on the door, you know, to get into the chambers.
Yes.
Yeah, when they opened that door, folks, I'm just expressing my love for my friend, a colleague, but more than that, he mentioned me. He showed me that people can believe in a person, and that alone instills a person to move forward. Yeah. You know, you said to that lady, thank you, probation, but I'm not going to do that. You let me go home, man. I'm home now. I would have never been, folks, I got to say it, if Judge would have went along with the recommendations of probation, I would have went to jail. I'd have been very bitter. But can you imagine when a judge sees enough in a so-called defendant and says, I'm going to go along with you? You don't have that many judges saying that, folks. This man, Milton Wright, is my friend and a friend of this community. And his son is right there. And his son is right there. And his daughter is right there. But I don't want to talk about all your family. I need to talk about my granddaughter. I need to talk about my granddaughter, 14 years old, who got on the airplane yesterday, and she's in London on her way to Paris at 14, and she wants to be a veterinarian and go to Cornell University.
All right, she'll do that.
She gets all A's. So I just want to say to Lauren Fennell, you know, we love you. We want you to keep on doing what you're doing. Mind your business and listen to the teacher. Okay? What you say, Joe?
I just want to tell you that, and this is to the people too. When you give, it comes back to you. When you give with your heart, it comes back to you. Mm-hmm. As much as you say, I inspired you, you inspired me.
Yeah. It was a two-way street, no question.
No question.
Yes.
No question, George. It's always going to be like that. Oh, you and I, or me and you. You know, it's always going to be that. When I see your son, I see you. I know that there's been times when you guys sit together, maybe at the kitchen table, and said, well, what you doing? And he said, well, what you doing? And you never said to each other, you can't do it.
No.
That's not even a part of the equation.
That's right.
Never.
That's right.
That's not even part of the equation. When I looked up and checked out some of the work that your son was doing, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't, but look, it says the legacy of the Wrights folks, that's in my program, you know, because I thought it was appropriate for them to come on, and I asked them to come on, and they've come on, and they've talked about the importance of family values. You know, our judge talked about his brother, and so many of you have relatives that are caught up in the dungeon of addiction, but you can crawl your way out, you can get out, and you don't got to go back.
That's right.
And if I would have got sent to that prison, to that jail, I may have failed. But because of Judge Wright saying